Can you imagine supporting your spouse emotionally, financially, and physically for 7 long years only to have them walk out on you and file for divorce the very next day? On today's case, Mrs. Vaughn says that's exactly what happened when her husband not only walked out on their family, but started demanding a DNA test to prove he's the father of their daughter. Let's hear their case.
Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Starr presiding. Your Honor, this is the case of Vaughn versus Taylor.
Thank you. Okay, Ms. Vaughn, you're in court today to try and save your marriage. You say your husband walked out on you and your family, filed for divorce, and has even denied being the father of your child. You need him to step up or step out for good.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Taylor, you say you're not the bad guy here, but it was actually your wife who kicked you out of the house and the marriage. You question her faithfulness and say you need to know the truth about what's going on in the relationship.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Vaughn, you all have been together for 7 years and married for 4 years. Sounds like you were trying to build something. Tell me about the relationship.
We are an entertainment couple. We were definitely building a relationship until after 10 days following the birth of our child, he left. So I want a resolution. Are we gonna move forward with our marriage? Are we gonna work on this? Or are we gonna divorce and try to co-parent?
Yes, indeed. You heard what your wife just said. What do you say?
I've tried and given all I basically feel like I can give. As far as me leaving, I didn't just leave. I was basically, kicked out. There was a lot of harassment going on, a lot of things that I was going through there, and I was trying to fight through it and make it happen. But it didn't seem like that she wanted me to be there. So I left so we wouldn't hate each other.
So in other words, you left before it got so bad.
Yes. I was told in the middle of our marriage that I should leave, get my own place, get my own car, basically live my own life.
That's false.
And date her.
So, Ms. Vaughn, tell me what brought you together in the first place?
So we actually met at his job, and...
There's emphasis on job, because something tells me he doesn't have that same job anymore.
No, he's had about a bazillion since then.
Job,
he said he keeps a job.
I keep a job, might not be the same one.
So he actually was a breath of fresh air for me in the dating arena. We matched on many different levels, especially our creative level. We're both artists, and that's
what kind of artists?
I do stand-up comedy. He does music. We both do poetry. In the beginning of our relationship, we started to explore those ventures together and pretty much building like our own little powerhouse.
What did you do together?
We've done fashion shows together.
Did you do any poetry together?
We did poetry together as well. We performed at weddings, different events.
What kind of poetry did you perform?
We do Black empowerment poetry, and we also do love poetry.
Okay, just so that we can set the tone, do you have any love poetry that you can recite to the courts?
We do. We have a poem that we did called This Is Not Another Love Poem.
Okay, the stage is yours.
This is not another love poem, glazed all over in syrupy sweetness with sappiness for days. This is not another love poem like, oh, how do I love thee? Let me count the ways. This is not another love poem. And he drops the ball.
Yeah, I totally forgot. My mind is somewhere else right now.
You forgot your train of thought?
Sure did.
Were you supposed to come in at that point?
Yeah, I was.
Is that a little bit of an analogy for your marriage? You were supposed to come in at that point?
Not exactly, no.
That is exactly the point. Continuously dropping the ball and abandoning. Specifically when it comes to providing.
I didn't mean to make you emotional, but I saw that what happened just did.
I mean, the whole reason why we are here is because he continuously drops the ball as a husband. As a husband, he is supposed to be the protector.
No, I don't, Your Honor.
Talk to me, Mr. Taylor.
It's continuous nagging. I don't know what she wants. There's nobody who's perfect. Everything in a relationship cannot be my fault. Yes, I have paid multiple bills.
So, Mr. Taylor, let me ask you. Obviously, every household has either rent, lease, or mortgage payment. Who takes care of that in your home?
We both did.
Okay.
Her name is on it, but I mean, I'm putting money towards it too.
So you put money towards it?
Putting money towards it and covering it are two different things.
Do you all share equally, meaning 50-50?
No.
We didn't because I wasn't financially able at the time.
Well, was that something that you all knew from the beginning? That
Yes, it was something that was known from the
7
beginning.
years, we were building. So in us building, I accepted the fact that he had shortcomings, and I was willing to be patient and work with him and build him up in order to be the man that we both need him to be, not just me. But instead of doing that, he ran off.
And in 7 years, you have not seen a significant change or movement towards financial independence or the ability to sort of really help carry the weight.
And that is the whole issue. If anything happened to me, what will my family look like? What would my standard of care look like as a wife? I know if anything happened to him and he couldn't take care of himself, he's gonna have Jordans, he's gonna have clean underwear every day, he's gonna have everything that he needs. Me, on the other hand, I might be laying in dirty Depends all day, which is pretty much reflective of what happened after I had our child.
What do you mean?
Before we had our baby that we're here for today, I actually lost another child. I was pregnant by him.
Oh, I'm
At
sorry.
that particular time, thank you. At that particular time, we were homeless. And we were homeless because I had a issue where it affected me to where I could not work. And so because I could not work, the bills fell off. He did not step up. We ended up homeless, having to live with relatives. In the middle of that, I found out that I was pregnant. He was upset, telling everybody, oh, I don't want this baby, this and that. And I'm like, hey, this is your wife.
Y'all were having intimate spousal relationships.
Yes.
So without birth control, there's a possibility that you will get pregnant.
Yes, we was having a baby, but I got hit. It was like, oh. But still, at the end of the day, I came back and I apologized for that.
After telling everybody
wrong.
he didn't want the baby.
I was in the wrong headspace at the time.
Because you know that was kind of stank,
yeah,
right?
it was, and it wasn't right.
Were you able to work during that time?
I was working. I was doing the best I could. I couldn't cover everything, though.
So you're saying the two of you together have to work in order to maintain the household, is what you're saying?
Ma'am.
You need double income.
Yes, ma'am.
He is a good man, but it's his whole alpha male image that's messing up this good man.
What does that look like in your home?
He has the last say. I should sit down and shut up.
I should have the last word. A man is supposed to be the head of the household.
Miss Vaughn, you are extremely emotional, so something tells me something tragic happened.
So when he finally decided that he was okay with the pregnancy, the doctor told me that I was losing the baby.
Oh.
They pretty much told us what to expect during the whole process. I had to take medication to induce the miscarriage. He helped me.
That's very traumatic.
With this whole process. So they tell you, you're gonna wake up, you're gonna be in labor, you're gonna have all of the symptoms of labor. Well, of course, I wake up, all of the symptoms of labor. I'm looking for my husband. I can't find him anywhere. My husband is across the street writing a rap song with his friend while I'm having a miscarriage.
All right, if I can speak on that, Your Honor.
Yeah, because you need to speak on it.
Yeah, the doctor told us about what was going to happen. Didn't go into detail or anything. All I know is it's going to pass through.
Baby, we're talking about a child that you wanted.
I know the baby is going to pass through.
It is not going to pass through.
No, I sat there. I rubbed her to sleep, played little soft music, talked to her in her ear for hours. She was knocked out asleep. I'm just sitting there. I figured, okay, she going to call me if anything happened. I'm right across the street. I can run right back. It wasn't trying to be insensitive or anything. And I definitely apologize for that. I did not mean to come off that way.
I hear you, Mr. Taylor. Ms. Vaughn, were you able to get to your husband in a relatively short amount of time?
I was like blowing his phone up.
One time.
Then finally he comes, but that miscarriage, him leaving the way that he did, him not wanting the baby, all of that, like, I honestly believe that was the catalyst that began the end of our marriage. I don't think we ever fully recovered from that point because I felt abandoned, and that that since continued throughout our marriage.
Some people say that we can forgive, but we never forget. And I always add to that, we try to forget, but Mr. Vaughn, you never forget the way it made you feel. You try to move past it, but if it's something that hurts you to the core, anything that happens afterwards that triggers that is gonna bring up those feelings.
But if you love somebody and you're serious and you're about something, then let it go. It's plenty of numerous things that's happened to me that I've been able to let go throughout the years.
I don't think losing a baby that you wanted falls in any of those categories.
I've never been pregnant.
Right, you've never been pregnant, but I wanna move on because there's nothing that I'm gonna ever be able to say or do to make her feel better
That's
about
how I
that
feel.
situation. There's nothing that you're gonna be able to say or do to make her feel better. So tell me a little bit about yourself. What kind of man are you?
I'm a good one.
How do you qualify a good man?
I'm determined, I'm respectful. I've never stolen money from her, I've never beaten her, I've never taken her car, I've never cheated on her.
You don't cheat?
No.
You don't steal?
No, I don't gamble all her money away. I mean, I'm not perfect, of course not.
Mr. Taylor says he's not perfect, but he's a good man.
I believe about a good 80% of the time, he is a good man, but it's his whole alpha male image that's
alpha male.
messing up this good
definitely an
man
alpha male.
perspective.
She's a so-called alpha female, so we go through a lot.
Who said that?
When you say an alpha male, what does that mean? What does that look like in your home?
So he believes that he has the last say. I should sit down and shut up when he says so, and I'm just supposed to act accordingly.
None of that is true. Nothing she just
You
said
don't
is true.
believe that
None of
you
that.
have the last word in the family?
I should have the last word. I'm the man. Yes, I should.
Do you mean just because that's your gender? Or you have a penis and she doesn't?
No, a man is supposed to be the head of the household.
Okay.
That's what the Bible say, not me.
Right, but the head of the household takes care of the whole household.
Right, and the man of the house was trying to do that. Once I finally started getting to the position to where I was about to take care of everything, then she wanted me gone. I say, well, look, I know I haven't been perfect. Everything hasn't been right, but I'm getting everything together right now. You should have did that a long time ago. Well, I'm doing it now. What do you want from me? Well, let me sit down for 7 years and you just do. I ain't doing nothing for. I'm like, what are you talking about?
There's resentment that's there.
Yeah, and that resentment is not helping.
Mr. Taylor, did you ask for a DNA
Sure
test?
did. Any child that's supposed to be mine, I want a DNA test.
Because you had requested of the court
Yeah.
a DNA test. We did.
I think the baby's mine, but I want to be sure.
Robert, let's find out. If you'd like your case to be heard on divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Missed a show? Watch full episodes on our streaming platforms and follow us on social media for exclusive content.
10 days after I get out the
Amen.
hospital from having an emergency C-section, he leaves because
Sure
he says
did.
my attitude was bad.
Real bad.
Help me to understand what was going on so bad in your home that you walked out on your wife and your brand new baby.
Any and everything. Anything that you could think of that's wrong was my fault. Anything that I bring up is an argument. Her children were very disrespectful to me. She would jump on their side over what I'm saying as an adult.
Children aren't gonna just respect you because you're an adult. That's called fear. They respect you by your leadership abilities, by the decisions that you make, by the things that they see you do. I have girls. They're watching me struggle to do everything in our household. So no, you are not gonna get the respect and admiration that you feel like you're not even paying half of all the bills.
Mr. Taylor,
Yes, ma'am.
I think it is fair to say you have not done very much to maintain this relationship. And you have really put the burden on your wife to be responsible for the finances of your family.
I'm gonna take it off. We're divorcing, so she don't have to worry about anything anymore.
You have a baby.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be in my baby's life. I love
And he
her.
hasn't been since
That's a
he
lie.
left.
That's a lie.
Here,
I
there,
call my baby
wherever he
every
wants.
morning.
I understand
I
because
don't go to my baby's house because she's there.
I looked at some notes and it said, Mr. Taylor, did you ask for a DNA
Sure
test?
did. It has nothing to do with her or any other woman I've ever been with. Any child that's supposed to be mine, I made the decision up a long time ago. I want a DNA test about it. If this is my baby and it's supposed to be mine, that's a decision that I can make, and I don't have to question. That shouldn't be questioned by anybody.
Because you had requested of the court a DNA test, we did.
I think the baby's mine, but I want to be sure.
Robert, let's find out.
His questioning the paternity because my daughter is lighter skinned than both of us, and she came out with gray eyes.
That's not.
So you're like, oh, is this baby even his?
You're
and
right,
because when he left, I said that I
gosh.
did not want child support because he broke and I wouldn't get it anyway.
Wow.
So he was, oh, well, is the baby even his?
What a beautiful
It's
little
a lot of
girl.
theatrics.
Thank you.
What a beautiful little girl.
Yeah, that's my baby.
Thank you.
I hope she never sees this court case because I don't want her to ever think that her daddy
Oh, she won't.
denied
She
her.
loves daddy.
Okay, well, I got a
That's the
DNA
theatrics.
test report and probability of paternity, 99.999999, that Mr. Derrick Taylor, you're the father.
That's cool with me. I
I've
know it.
never cheated on this man.
No problem.
First of all, I sold this man rap CD on gas station parking lots. There is no, if I wanted
Theatrics
to
is
cheat,
ridiculous.
I would have left them all together. I would have never had a child and continued to have a relationship knowing that this is what I would end up with.
Mr. Taylor,
Yes, Your Honor.
is it over?
Yes,
Tell your wife,
it's over.
Thank you.
Okay.
because I'm gonna tell you something right now. Ms. Vaughn, he does not want you.
Oh,
She don't
please
want me
believe
either.
me.
She don't want me
Listen,
either.
this man, at one particular point in our relationship, he carried a tire 2 miles on his back to the tire shop. One thing I know for certain, when a man wants you, there is nothing that he will or will not do to keep you. He never wanted to be in a marriage. He does not know what being married, what being loyal, what being committed looks like. He thinks that marriage is a fluff. He thinks that it's all about sex, and for his gratification, it has nothing to do with the partnership that marriage is actually supposed to be. So I'm actually happy to be free. I know for a fact that I will find another man who will actually know how to be a man and not a quote unquote alpha male.
And then maybe I can find a real woman, one that doesn't lie and just go.
What did I
all
lie
with
about? Because you
theatrics and
haven't
everything.
announced one lie that I've said here. Which part? Which part did I lie about?
Everything, you know what you
I
like.
lied about everything?
Ms. Vaughn,
Okay.
you do not need to have any more conversation.
Thank you, Your
Because you know what just happened? You just left him, and he just left you, and guess what?
Yes.
You should say good riddance.
Good riddance.
Because the best thing that has ever happened to you was that Mr. Taylor,
Left.
showed what a complete ass you are
Oh, wow.
on national television.
That's what this was for, right?
No, you know what it was for? It's for women like Miss Vaughn and other women to when it is over, it is over.
Right.
To roll with it and find who you actually deserve. Stand in the space God has created for you. You go and be the alpha male wherever you need to be. I do want you to make sure you file for child support, because whatever little job you get,
Oh, yeah.
you need to be taking care of that
He
baby.
ain't bought
no
a
problem.
diaper or nothing.
What kind of
Get it over with.
an alpha male? He better give me a break.
I just saw a coward. I saw someone who, if she's in pain, I'm gonna go make a rap song.
Yeah, you need to be rapping about getting a job. I can't believe that he would leave her in the middle of a miscarriage, talking about basically, I was bored, so I left.
Right, but you know what? I'm really happy for her because she stood her ground. She made every single point the whole time. I think she just wanted the closure.
Good for her. And I'm glad he showed himself to be the you-know-what.
Right.
Because there's nothing better than her having no regrets. She can move on with her life knowing for certain that this fool is out of it.
That's right.